Okay, so as I told you, first we'll start with the Python fundamentals from the code to the advanced level. Okay, if you go with remaining organization, so they're teaching only code. But nowadays, to survive in the IT industry, we need to learn complete Python. If you don't keep Python in your resume, even though if you are learning generative AI, your resume will not be get shortlisted, and as well as we cannot able to develop end-to-end projects on this. Okay, these are the things we are going to discuss. Okay, from the scratch, data types, operators, conditional statements, list tuple sets, and all the dictionaries, functions, file handling, exception handling, multi-threading, object-oriented programming, so numerical Python, pandas, and matplotlib. Okay, so all these things we are going to discuss. After that, as I told you, we'll discuss what the difference between ML and deep learning these techniques. Okay, and after that, we'll start working with different types of generative AI tools. So like as I told you, cloud mostly will focus and as well as ChatGPT and Copilot, how to work on that and how to generate test images and different types of things. And after that, natural language processing fundamentals we are going to discuss. Even if you're not aware with all these things, I will explain one by one. And after discussing that, deep learning techniques for NLP. See, our aim is that we need to create our own AI projects. To do that, all this technology we are going to discuss. Okay, and next, attention and transformers. All this terminology I will explain, even though if you're not aware of the things. So large language models, how our ChatGPT and the Cloud Cowork, all they're working behind the concept known as the models, and we'll discuss large language models and how to work with these large language models also we're going to also discuss. Okay, and how to work with different kinds of OpenAI and integration of the different kinds of APIs. And prompt engineering techniques we are going to discuss. And as I told you, frameworks. Okay, by using this framework, this is the one generative AI framework. By using this, we can create different kinds of AI projects, and also we are going to discuss how to integrate AI in your current existing projects and how to handle. So everyone is familiar with MySQL and all these things. We are going to discuss here data handling and with vector databases, and OLAMA also we are going to discuss, and RAG concept. These are all the latest industry technologies, my dear aspirant, and few tools are there. Next, generative AI. Okay, after learning the generative AI, the next updated thing is agentic AI. Now in the IT industry, the trend is with agentic AI. So I'll explain what is meant by agentic AI also, and that agentic AI frameworks, and so how to integrate RAG and as well as AI integrations, model optimization. So if you are not aware with these points I am saying, no need to worry, just I am explaining what are the things we are going to cover. Okay, so LLM evaluation and all these things, and finally so few DevOps tools and integrating and deploying in the cloud. So basically we'll discuss the free cloud. These are the 19 modules you are going to discuss in the course curriculum. Okay, now so fine, great. So we'll start with my dear aspirant, what is meant by artificial intelligence. You all came here to learn AI, na? So my dear aspirant, so I can say that welcome my dear future tech leaders. So look around you, every app you are using and as well as every website you visit and every company on the Fortune 500 is currently racing to answer only one question. What that question is, how do we use AI to dominate what the trend is going on, how do we use AI to dominate our IT industry? Okay, this is the buzz going on. Okay, in the tech industry. Okay, how do we use AI to dominate our AI? Okay, in our industry. Fine. So before starting the technology, my dear aspirant, I want to ask you one question. So everyone is nowadays using the generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and Cloud, and as well as few AI tools. Almost everyone is doing the things. So what are the capabilities of AI? So AI can write the code, right? AI can write the code, okay, and AI can generate the reports. Different. What's the point I want to convey to is that AI can able to generate the reports, right? AI can able to create the presentations. Nowadays, this AI, what can the AI can do? AI can answer the customer queries, and AI can automate the repetitive task. This all these things, my dear aspirant in the tech industry, AI is doing all these things. The point to be noted here is that, my dear aspirant, AI is not a future technology. AI is already becoming the part of our daily environment. Okay, so my dear aspirant, so what the thing is that AI is doing all these things, then why should the companies hire the technical aspirants? This is the point. Okay, I will explain why why should the companies hire the developers. I will explain. What the point here is that AI can, what the AI capabilities of AI can write the code, they can generate the report, I can automate the repetitive task and all these things. Then why should the companies hire? So listen it here, my dear aspirant. The real question is that how to accelerate your career by using AI. This is very much important. Nowadays, every company is investing a huge amount of in AI automation and as well as in the making the application intelligent. So 10 years ago, what's the thing we are having in the IT industry here? Those who know how to use, not 10 years, 15 years and 20 years back, those who are very good at using these computers, they got a job. And so 8 years, 10 years back, those who are very good at programming, so those aspirants, they got a job. Now, my dear aspirant, what the tech industry is expecting from your side is that you must be very good at programming. So you must be very good at logical thinking. These are the things companies are expecting. You must be very good at creating different kinds of architecture. You must be very good at problem solving skills. Okay, nowadays if you go with the tech industry, the budget allocation, you all know that millions of crores. Okay, we cannot completely rely on the things. So by using this AI, what the companies are expecting, the candidate must be very good at programming. You must have great experience in programming. You must be very good at logical thinking, problem solving skills. You must be very good at using the AI tools. The tech industry now, so Anthropic Cloud AI is trending. You must be aware of how to use that AI tools, and what the companies are expecting here is that their automation. So companies are nowadays automating the each and every work, and as well as according to the companies, we need to understand that policies and according to the business understanding is very much so important. Okay, so my dear aspirant, what will happen here now at present also in tech industry? What is happening here is that AI is not replacing the developers. The developers who is using this AI is replacing the another developers. So nowadays the companies are no longer interested to hire the people who can execute only the task. Nowadays, as I told you, companies are expecting the professionals, working professionals, and as well as the freshers who will be very good at problem solving skills. Who can build different kinds of solutions to their organization. And as I told you, how can they use AI efficiently? And another thing, what the companies are expecting here is that how to increase the productivity. What the great advantage why are using AI in your tech industry is that to increase the productivity. So this is the point. And as I told you, and what the thing here is that to reduce the manual work. Okay, to reduce the manual work. These are the things companies are expecting from your side. So nowadays, as you all know, that the companies are investing huge amount on artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence, it is the branch. In this branch, these are all the sub branches. Okay, generative AI. Nowadays, companies are investing huge amount on this generative AI, agentic AI, and companies are automating. Why the layoffs is going on? Because these companies are automating the workflow. So okay, now workflow is to automate the complete workflow. We are using this AI. Okay, now if you look at every startup or every MNC, they are trying to answer one thing: how can we use, how can we do more work? Okay, by using the resources of AI. So nowadays, as I told you, every company is investing heavy on AI-powered solution. Because if you go with any business, they want the faster result, better productivity, and low operation cost. See this, what the companies are expecting, low operational cost is also very much important. If A is costlier, the companies are, they won't move with it. Okay, low operation cost also very much so important. Okay, as I told you now, to survive in the IT industry, what are the things? These are the things: AI tools, business understanding, and you must by using that AI, you must use the AI in efficient way to increase the productivity. And as well as another thing, you must be very good at so creating the architecture thinking. Okay, so these are the high level things companies are expecting from your side. Okay, okay, this is the point you need to observe it here. Okay, fine. And what the companies are expecting from the freshers, and as well as the thing is that how to AI integration. This is also how can they integrate AI in their current projects, and as well as the production deployment or production development. These are the so things companies are expecting from your side. Okay, now. So nowadays, what the companies are asking here is that can you solve our business problems by using AI? Okay, how can you solve the company's business problems by using AI? How can I use? Companies are asking, can you use AI effectively? And how can you automate the workflows? This is the thing companies are expecting. You must able in a position to automate the workflows of the organization. And how can you integrate AI? And how can you integrate, as I told you, how can you integrate the APIs? These are the things companies are expecting. Okay, fine. So automate the workflow, integration of the APIs. Okay, fine. And low operational cost, obviously these companies are expecting. And what the thing, as I told you, how can they build the different kinds of so intelligent application? How can they improve the productivity? Okay, these are the things the companies are expecting, my dear aspirant. So what the thing here is that according to the trend, we need to upgrade all these things. Okay, as I told you, these are the things companies are expecting. So from your side, okay, fine. So now we'll move to the technical things. So my dear aspirant, if I talk about AI, what AI is doing it here is, if you talk about the impact of AI, almost in every sector, AI has created a huge impact. Okay, if I talk about where the AI has created the so impact, so just 2 minutes. If you go with the layoffs, my dear aspirant, the companies are targeted the management roles, right? So management roles the companies are targeted. Okay, and so management roles the companies has targeted. Just a minute. Okay, fine. Okay, so management roles, like what they can do, management roles means they can to generate the reports, to track the employees' performance, to create dashboards, to schedule the meetings, and all these things, my dear aspirant, that types of thing easily AI now has replaced. So it has created a huge impact on this. And another thing in the HR domain, if you go with the human resources, my dear aspirant, AI has created a huge impact on the domain. Okay, the hiring has stopped in these management roles and in HR. Already 80% AI has created impact on this. In software testing also, my dear aspirant, AI has created a great impact on this. The software testing. In the software testing also, AI has created a great impact. Now this, by using this AI, we can able to write the test cases, automation script, and as well as some basic bug reports, everything AI is generating all these things. Here 40% of the work has been automated in testing. Next, in web development, my dear aspect, those who are working in the web development, AI has created a, say, is creating an impact. Actually, it didn't create a great impact, it is creating the impact. So this AI can generate the websites. Okay, they can generate the landing pages, and they can write the, they can create the user interfaces and all these things. Okay, but my dear aspirants, sir, AI is doing everything now, but you need to learn all these web development technologies. We need to learn how to create the projects end to end by using this AI, by using this web development. Just AI is like act as a tool, my dear aspirants. Simply by learning AI, we not get a job. We need to learn the domain, specific domain. In this specific domain, where you have to integrate the AI, and where you can able to automate the work, and where you can manage the workflows. These are the things companies are expecting from your side. If you want to get a job in the web development sector, you must be very good at backend systems, AI integration. You must be very good at scalable architecture, problem solving skills, integration of the APIs, and all these things. And in web development also, AI is creating the impact, and in the upcoming, it is going to create great impact. And non-IT technical jobs, AI is also creating a great impact. If you talk like that, customer support, telecalling, if you nowadays, if you are using calling to the any customer support, so that AI generated voice, AI is talking with us. Okay, so like that, if you go with the data engineering also, my dear aspirant, AI is creating the huge impact. So what you are going to discuss in your course curriculum is, we are going to create different kinds of projects by using this latest generative AI tools and generative AI frameworks, and how to automate that work by using this agentic AI techniques. Okay, now data engineering also, my dear aspirant, I will tell you that AI can generate the SQL queries. AI can clean the data automatically nowadays. AI can create the ETL pipelines, can prepare the reports. It is also creating a great impact in data engineering sector also. So like that, if I talk like that, my dear aspirant, AI is going to create a huge impact on this following so domains. Okay, and coming to the, my dear aspirant, every technology creates more jobs than it destroys for the skilled people. So the job roles, what are the different kinds of job roles we are getting now in the tech industry is that, okay, by learning this course, we can go as can get a job as a full stack developer. So prompt engineering, so this is the role we can go with the things. Okay, sir, I am learning this course. How it will be useful here is that these are the types of roles we can able to apply. For that reason only, we have included generative AI also in our course curriculum. So prompt engineering we can go, and as well as AI product. This is for experienced people, AI product manager. Okay, and LLM engineering. Okay, this is the new role we are getting in the tech industry. Okay, if you go with automation, so who is very good at automation specialist. Okay, this is the things companies are expecting. Retrieval augmented generation, who is very good at this concept. Okay, RAG engineering. See, previously you have know about front-end developers, back-end developers, Python developers, Java developers, Salesforce, DevOps, and all these things. As I told you, 19 modules we are discussing in your course curriculum. In that, 7 to 8 modules we are discussing, that will be related. In that module, the specific job roles are there. So RAG engineering, if I talk about, sir, if you upgrade with few more concepts, then we can become the data scientist. Okay, na? A architecture we can become. Okay, for the freshers, you mostly focus on Python programming language and generative AI, and how to automate the work with agentic AI. Okay, for the freshers, also I will guide you how to apply different kinds of jobs. Okay, nowadays the fresher, the traditional hiring is going on. Nowadays they are hiring Python developers, but they are asking, so do you know AI or not? Generative AI. They are asking for the freshers. You don't need to worry how to do and all these things I will explain. So as per the knowledge we are having, what is mean by artificial intelligence? అసలు ఏ అంటే ఏంటి, అసలు వాట్ ఈస్ మీన్ బై ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్? కెన్ ఎనీవన్ టెల్ మీ ద డెఫినేషన్? సో మనం ఏంటంటే హౌ టు యూజ్ దిస్ ఏఐ టూల్స్ అండ్ హౌ కెన్ యూ క్రియేట్ అవర్ ఓన్ ఏఐ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఆల్సో వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు డిస్కస్. సో ఏఐ we can say that nothing but it is came here to replace the humans, okay, to replace the manual work. Okay, I can say that AI means nothing but training the machines or the systems to think and to understand and to make the decisions like human. So A means nothing but what you're doing, we are training the machines, or we can say that we are training the systems to think. Yes, A is thinking like humans. A is learning like humans, my dear aspirant. A is understanding like humans. And another great advantage about the AI is, sir, AI is going to make the decisions like the humans. Okay, so AI technology, it is not a new, it is a very old technology, but now it is came into the limelight. Okay, getting this point, these are the things. Technically, if anyone asks you, sir, what is mean by AI? AI means nothing but we are training. We the developers, we the Python developers, we are training these machines and systems to think. It has to think like humans. It has to learn like humans, how the humans are learning from your past experience and all these things. And it has to understand like the humans, and as well as the final, what the important thing here is that it has to make the decision like the humans. This is AI. Okay, artificial intelligence means this is the technical point. So what AI can do, sir, as I told you now, AI can do many things, my dear aspirants. So as I told you what the technical points, sir, AI can learn from the past data. If you provide the data, according to that data, AI is going to learn and is going to predict what is going to happen. Sir, AI is able to understand our human language. Yes, AI is able to understand our human language. So we are giving the prompt in our general human language only now. Sir, what the AI can do it here is that AI can, as I told you, they can able to generate different kinds of images. So what the AI can do, it can generate images, code, so different kinds of presentations, as I told you. Sir, what's the AI? Sir, AI is very good at analyzing the data. AI can able to analyze the data. Sir, what the AI can do, sir? AI is very good at predicting the future trends. So not in one domain, my dear aspirant, lots of advantages are there. Sir, AI will talk like humans. Talk like humans. What is happening in the tech industry and in about these AI tools? So the communication between the human plus AI will be better than the communication with human and human. Okay, obviously, as we are the humans, if I say anything, you can able to communicate with me. You can able to understand what I am saying. Okay, and as well as you can able to understand my emotions and my sentiments and all these things. What is happening in the tech industry is that the communication between this human and AI is going to getting increased. It is nothing but it is a silent killer. Okay, it is going to create a great impact in the IT industry. AI is going to understand our emotions, my dear aspirant. They can able to talk like humans, and completely, as I told you now, this thing now it is going to implement it in the IT industry. Before AI, in olden days also we are having the AI. The main advantage of the AI, why we have created, is to think, learn, and understand like the humans. Nothing but to replace the humans. But so now the trend, what the trend here is that, as I told you, in a generative and agentic excellent frameworks we got it in the tech industry. By that we can create the project and we can create applications in a way that, okay, the interaction between the humans and AI will be far better than the communication with the humans and human. As you all know that if you hire two working professionals, basically in olden days we have, okay, Gender discriminations అనేది olden days we have, now it also కొంచెం light it is having it, but in the upcoming days this is the great impact it is going to create. So this is the point you need to observe. So what the AI can do as per the knowledge you are having, sir. So these are the things you can do it, and few more points I have added here about the AI. What the AI can do it here is that so they can create, and as well as by using the AI we can able to automate our workflows, and by using the AI we can automate our workflows by using this AI. So what the AI can do, AI, by using this AI, the main great advantage here is that we can able to increase them so productivity. Like this, if I talk like this, my dear aspirant, it will take nearly 5 to 6 hours about the capability of the AI. Okay, no? So we'll end here itself and we'll move to the next interesting things. Okay, no? Bye. So got it now. These are all the capabilities, my dear aspirants. So the AI is doing it here. Sir, if you talk about AI, sir, where you are using this AI, sir? In the tech industry, my dear aspirant, if you go with the e-commerce sector, as you all know that what is the turnover of the e-commerce website, the turnover of the e-commerce websites like Amazon and Flipkart, millions of crores. Okay, now, and not only that, nowadays in the tech industry, lots of e-commerce projects coming into limelight, and in the startups here in high-tech city and Gachibowli also. So lots of e-commerce projects we are getting it here. So if you go with the Amazon, basically in the product recommendations, there we are using this okay, based on the past data, it is going to recommend the products to you, and as well as it is going to show you the similar products. Okay, there also we are using this AI. Sir, if you go with the banking projects nowadays, still few projects need to be integrated with AI. So mostly majority of the banking work in the banking fraud detection, there also we are using this AI. See it here, the 20 to 30% already all the domains as integrating that AI. But the thing here is that they are investing huge amount to automate their work process. If the workflow has been automated, then it is going to create a great revolution in the tech industry. It is going to happen within 2 to 3 days. If AI can manage the workflow 100%. Okay, but if it happen, it is going to create a great impact. Okay, in the banking sector also 20%, all the banking applications they are integrating there. So suppose if I talk about one small example, but about the AI is that suppose you are using the ATM card. Previously also we have this application. Basically we are developed by using machine learning. Suppose let us assume that you are using an ATM card in Hyderabad. After 2 minutes, let us assume that the same same transaction has happened in US. Is it possible? No. So what we will do it here is these banking applications we can integrate with AI. If there is any fraud detection, it can able to detect within seconds without the evaluation of the humans. Human no need. Okay. So there we can use it nowadays. We are all this very trending applications, Uber, Ola. So after Corona, excellent things. Ola, Uber, Rapido. Even females also, I think they are preferring this. I think so. Uber, Ola, something tier 4 applications are there. Basically, I won't use these things. Ola, Uber, and all these things in these price predictions. So there also we are using this AI. So I'm saying the capabilities of the AI. Okay, give me 10 minutes. After that, we'll move to the directly. I will the technical points we'll discuss. In Uber and Ola also we are using this AI. So if you talk about this, if you go with the Uber, my dear aspirant, at the time of rain or at the time of office time, so based on the traffic, based upon the demand, based upon the weather, booking counts, based on the peak hours, the price has been changing dynamically. The dynamical price, how it is automating by our AI people on. Okay, there also we are using this AI. If I talk like that, my dear aspirants, okay, everywhere. So in the traffic prediction, face recognition, recommendation systems, in total every IT in every sector, AI has entered. Okay, now this is the point you need to observe it here. So another great thing about the technology, another great technology is that we understand about the AI. So from the past 3 years, the generative AI came into the picture. It has totally changed. It has totally shocked the entire IT industry. Okay, this generative AI, my dear aspirant, it has totally changed the tech industry. So previously, olden days, even though I am working as a data scientist, olden days, we don't have this type of technology, generative AI. Sir, if I give any code, if I ask any code, if I test in Google, explain about Python object-oriented programming. So what is happen? It is going to give the suggestions to you, and websites it is going to give. But the generative AI, it is going to create the exact content on this. It is generating the new content based on the prompt. Here what the user will give the prompt. Based on the prompt, it is going to generate the content, as I told you now. So what the generative AI basically, as a in this AI is a sub branch, my dear aspirant. In this sub branch, we're having all this machine learning, deep learning, NLP, generative AI, okay, and SNDK. Few more things will come. We cannot predict. Now the trend has stopped up to with SNDK. Next, after that, we cannot predict what is going to happen. So the generative AI, so what it is doing it here is that, okay, it is thinking, it is learning, and it is understanding, and it is making the decision like humans. If you give the prompt, my dear aspirant, is going to give the accurate result. So in olden days, if you load the data of 100 male and female, okay, if you give the male image, if you give the image, then it is going to predict whether it is a male or female. These are the things as done in the tech industry olden days. But nowadays, if you give the prompt, like if you generate I want to generate a male with white coat, it is going to generate the new content. This has changed the total IT industry. Olden days we didn't have. If you give the print, okay, generate a male with white coat, it is going to generate the content to us. It is going to summarize the content. Okay, so like that, it is totally shocked to the entire IT industry. Okay, generative AI means if you give the prompt, by based on the prompt, it is going to generate the new content. I can say the technical point, it is also a type of AI only. It is a branch, sub branch of AI. It is one type of AI. By this AI, we can able to create the new content. Okay, na, sir? What the AI can do, sir? It can generate, the generative AI can generate text. Sir, it can generate images. If we talk like that, what the generative AI nowadays it is generating, sir? It is generating text, yes. It images, it is generating codes, it is generating music, it is generating videos, audio, speeches, everything. He based on the prompt, it is generating now. Okay, now fine. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, about the generative AI, and as I told you, generative AI tools. So lots of tools are there. That all the generative AI tools we are going to discuss in our course curriculum. Okay, now fine, great. Sir, how the generative AI tools, like as you told you, nowadays the trending things with, first we got OpenAI. From the OpenAI organization, we got ChatGPT, and from Anthropic we got Cloud. Okay, Google we got Gemini. So like this, Microsoft we got Copilot. So how this, okay, these generative AI tools are working here. So my dear aspirant, how these generative AI tools are worked by the concept known as the large language models. This is the thing, it is totally changed the tech industry. So large language models. See, to create one, this AI tools, this is to create the generative AI tools. like OpenAI, so from Anthropic, Gemini, and Claude. So can a nearly, as yesterday I seen the news, investment of these tools, nearly millions of crores they are investing. Okay, some millions of crores they are investing, my dear aspirant, to create the large language models. So how see if you are giving any prompt, it is giving the exact data now, exact data. How it is generating the accurate result. So why? Because is all these things are working behind the concept known as the large language models. Sir, as I'm non-technical person, I don't know what you're saying. No need to worry. See it here, it is a deep learning. So yeah, my dear aspirant, it is a deep learning AI system. So trained on the massive data. What the technical point here is that it will be trained on the massive data, not only test, it will be trained on the massive data to understand and as well as to generate human like language. So getting this point, see it here. So lots of data centers we need it here to store this data. Okay, and the companies here like Nvidia, Intel, AMD, they are providing the chips processing unit and lots of GPUs we needed. This large language models will won't work on our computer operating system, central processing unit, they won't work. So lots of GPUs processing we need it. Okay now, so we need the GPUs, my dear aspirant. So here massive calculations, to do the massive calculations. And what is happening in this AI tools here is that huge memory it has to store now. Okay, you need to maintain the databases, data centers, we need it. In the upcoming days, what will happen here is that, so in India and basically in the parts of AP and Telangana, lots of data centers it is going to come. If data centers arrive, my dear aspirant, what will happen here is that obviously they will get the shortage of electricity. One thing, if the development is happening around us, if the development increases, automatically we will feel the shortage of the electricity, shortage of the water, and obviously increasing the traffic, it will be there now. In the upcoming days, what will happen here is that companies, they are going to, we need the data centers, obviously. Why? Because huge amount of data we need to process it. Okay, so massive calculations to maintain that huge memory, my dear aspirant. So to maintain that parallel processing, all these things, my dear aspirant, to do that, we need these GPUs. Okay, the companies like Nvidia and AMD, Intel, they are providing these GPUs and this so chip processing unit. So okay, to this organization. So still this organization, they didn't came to the profits. If you go with the stock market, okay, here and there it is going on. Okay, it will take some time to that. Slowly nowadays companies are adopting these types of environment. Okay, fine, great. Parallel processing it is going on. So what is large language models? I will say that it will be trained on the massive data now. So the data will be trained in various books, various websites, various books, websites, various documents, and it will fetch the data from various kinds of APIs. Okay, now various data centers like this. I can say that the data will be trained. Okay, now manaki large language models, the generative AI tools, they're working behind this concept known as the large language models. So in the large language models, already the data will be pre-trained. Massive data, my dear aspirant. Okay, so to maintain that, our CPUs won't work. So we need the data centers, Azure data centers, AWS, Google data centers we needed, and GPUs. So for the processing, graphical processing units, we need AI chips. So like that, millions of crores are needed to create these large language models. Why they are cost effective? ChatGPT, Claude, and all these things. So my dear aspirant, they need to maintain the large language models. They need the AI chips. They needed graphical processing unit. They all needed. For that reason, So to create one AI tool, millions of crores they are investing. I will tell you about the budget tomorrow once I will go it and the things. So what is large language models? The data will be trained, huge amount of data will be trained by the various organizations from websites, document, APIs. So AI tools, okay, this AI organization, they need to pay to these websites, okay, to this way APIs and all these things. Okay, from there the data will be trained. Okay, first the data will be trained. Okay, fine. This is the point you need to observe it here. So basically they will be trained on huge data sets. Okay, and from the internet, whatever the information is there, from that all that information it will be trained. Okay, and to maintain that we are using the GPUs. Okay, after that, after training the data based on the prompt, it is going to predict the next words. This is the thing is happening now. If you give the prompt, then it is predicting now. How it is predicting? Already it has trained from the massive amount of the data. From that data, it is going to predict. Okay, this is the thing is so going to happen. Okay, this is the thing we need to observe it here. Next, while talking about the technical things about the things, my dear aspirant, as I told you, we are going to discuss the Gemini, Flash, Google AI Studios, DeepSeek also very trending. That one also I told you, and Llama models I will explain you. And Quen, I think Quen, Alibaba, it is very much trending. That is also generative AI tool. Mistral AI, so Cloud Flea versions will discuss, and how to run AI local in your project. That one also we are going to discuss. So listen it carefully. Coming to the generative AI, why it is trending? Because in that we are going to discuss one framework. Listen it carefully, my dear aspirant. Listen this for 15 minutes. Here onward, the session will be very important. I am going to discuss. See it here, my dear aspirant. Nowadays, what the companies are expecting, as I told you, now. So by using this LangChain framework, what you can do it here is that if you test this prompt like so if I write it here, so in the A, I am entering that check the latest so Python jobs. Okay, check the latest Python jobs in Hyderabad and send to my email. Can you able to do this work? UAA tool, can you able to do this? But now what are the things we are using now? That LLM tools, they cannot do it, my dear aspirant. Okay, now normal LLM cannot do this. Actually, if you write it, it will fetch the data from various APIs. It will give you the latest jobs, but it cannot send it to the mail. But companies are expecting that type of things. So to do that, here we are using this LangChain. Okay. So you all came here to learn the trending technology LangChain. Na? In that, we are having one framework that is obviously created by our Python developers, and it will support only Python and JavaScript programming languages only. If you go with the LangChain, okay, it is going to support only our Python and JavaScript only. Okay, mostly it will support Python. So JavaScript, now they are integrated Java also. Okay, no? Okay, fine. So this LangChain framework, by using this LangChain framework, my dear aspirant, we are going to create different kinds of AI applications. Okay, and as well as we can able to automate our work process. Okay, what we can do it here is that what's the use of this LangChain framework here is that okay, it is used to connect the databases. By using the AI, we can able to connect the databases. No? So to connect the databases, my dear aspirant, we are using this LangChain framework only. So to manage the workflows, this is the thing companies are expecting from your side. Sir, I want to manage my workflows. Then we need this LangChain framework. Okay, what is meant by LangChain framework? Sir, LangChain, it is nothing but it comes under the generative AI framework. Basically, it is used to build the powerful applications by using these LLMs. Okay, so you no need to create the LLMs. Already the organization, they have created the large language models now. By using this LangChain, we can integrate with the LLMs. Sir, by using LangChain helps the developers to connect different kinds of LLMs. Okay, to connect with the LLMs. By using LangChain, we can connect with the large language models already created by the organizations. So what you can do it with the LangChain here is that, my dear aspirant, so to manage the memory. AI is not good at remembering the past conversations now. And by using this LangChain, we can add memory to the AI also. Okay, so as I told you now, all these things we can do it in our course curriculum by using this LangChain framework. Okay, so by using this LangChain framework, my dear aspirants, what you can do it here is that, as I told you, we can connect with the different kinds of databases. We can integrate different kinds of APIs, and as well as we can able to automate different kinds of task. Okay, and as well as we can able to build different kinds of AI agents. Sir, I want to create my own AI projects. To create our own AI projects, my dear aspirant, so we'll use in tech industry, we are using this LangChain framework. It will be very interesting, my dear aspirant. Okay, and I will explain this in tech industry, sir, where you are using this LangChain framework, what's the great advantages of this LangChain framework. So my dear aspirant, in your course curriculum, my dear, we are going to create one project, that is AI chatbots. See, if you go with the freelancing market, so even though there also we can learn huge amount of money on this freelancing, facting here is that we need to create the own AI chatbots. Okay, so by using this LangChain, so we can create our own AI chatbots. Okay, this is the thing we can do it here. Okay, fine. In this LangChain framework, by we can able to create the customer support. Okay, so customer support bots, chatbots we are having now. Suppose Amazon is there. Sir, in the Amazon, I want to integrate the AI chatbot. How can I integrate, sir? By learning this LangChain framework, we can, what the customers can do it here is, we can create the customer support bots, chatbots you can create, sir. Sir, we, in HR domain, HR assistant. Okay, in the HR assistants, so there we are using, sir. In the banking also, banking sector also, banking chatbots, you got it now. So in healthcare, like this, if I talk about that, nowadays, in every application we are having, they are integrating with these chatbots. How they are integrating with these chatbots are by learning this LangChain framework one. So, okay, in our one project, we are going to discuss how to integrate the AI chatbots in your existing project. And another thing here is that AI is very good at RAG. By using this AI, my dear aspirant, we can able to create the RAG applications also. Okay, RAG, I can say that it is abbreviated as the Retrieval Augmented Generation. Very much important. This is Retrieval Augmented Generation. Okay, now this is the thing. So my dear aspirant, so what the things we can do it here in the tech industry is that, so if you load the documents, okay, we can able to load the documents, and okay, we can able to create the embeddings, and as well as we can split the test into chunks. All these things we can do it. Okay, listen it carefully. Where you are using this RAG applications, if I talk about this, okay, see it here. So nowadays companies upload the PDFs. Okay, in that, let us assume that they'll upload the policy documents. Companies, they are having one database. In the database, they'll upload the company's PDF policy documents, and as well as all that technical manuals. So companies, so let us think that they will store in the database. No? So where you can use this RAG concept here is that, okay, so listen it carefully. For suppose, let us think that if an employee ask, let us think that we are having a HR. As an employee, what you done it here is that, so we have asked how many casual leaves I have, leave policy have asked. And what the HR done it here is that, so he said that I will going to send you the policy document of your organization. Just you can go through it. Okay. What the HR said that, okay, you go to our so database, okay, and you go to that policy of our organization, and in that we are having the leave policy. Just you can go with the leave policy. So let us think that that leave policy is consisting of 500 PDF. So it will be very difficult to read that 500 page PDF now. So by using this RAG, we can generate the content. We can retrieve the content, whatever the thing you needed. Okay, now that type of things we are using this in AI, my dear aspirants. And next thing about great advantages about the AI is that this is the thing that AI can do it. Okay. And another thing about this LangChain, what it can do it here is that okay, it can able to retrieve the information, and as well as it can able to generate. Okay, fine. These are the things we can able to do it. And another great thing here is that by using this LangChain framework, we can able to create the different kinds of AI agents also. Okay, now fine. Next one. Can another thing we can create memory to that our AI application. So memory management. So basically to remember the previous chats and the user preferences, and to do all that, we are using this LangChain framework. So, and the tech industry to connect different kinds of APIs. Sir, I am having one e-commerce project. Sir, I want to integrate payment APIs, weather APIs, okay, the CRM, CRP tools, company systems and policies. So to integrate that, we need to learn this so framework. By using this framework, we can able to create it. Okay, another great advantage about this here is that in the database querying also, okay, in the database querying also, okay, we are using this LangChain framework. For suppose here, this LangChain framework, it helps to talk with the databases. Okay, we no need to write the queries in SQL here. We don't need to write the queries in SQL. One structured query language is there. We can write it in the human language. If you write it in the human language only, what will happen is it can convert that human language into the SQL to interact with the databases. That type of things here coming, we no need to learn SQL. Simply if you give that human language prompt, it will convert into that SQL and it is going to interact with the databases. Database querying also is can do it by using this LangChain framework. Sir, what that by using this LangChain framework, we can create the applications in such a way that it will be very good at document analysis. Okay, now so if you provide any legal contracts, invoices, medical reports, okay, and by integrating with this LangChain, it can able to summarize, it can able to stretch, and as well as it can able to create the documents also. Okay, it can create the new content also, and as well as it can able to extract the information also. Suppose let us think that, as I told you, we are having the 500 page PDF. In the 500 huge PDF, you want to retrieve the leave policy information. By integrating with this RAG, we can able to retrieve that specific information. This all technical things we are going to discuss in your course curriculum. So not only that, so in healthcare domain, in legal industry, in banking, education, e-commerce, if I talk like that, in everywhere we are integrating with AI. So to who the person behind that is the LangChain developers. Okay, those are very good at LangChain. These are the things happening in the tech industry. Okay, so got it done. So you got some idea about the things. What are the after completion of the course, what are the things you are going to get, and what are the projects you are going to discuss in your course curriculum. We are going to discuss it here. Okay. So coming to the course curriculum, my dear aspirant, so basically here we are going to discuss 4+ major projects. First one is related to the e-commerce project. So we'll create one e-commerce AI shopping assistant agent. Okay. So what the problem here is that the customer is spending a lot of time for searching the products, comparing prices and reading the reviews. No, we'll create one solution. You can build an AI shopping agent that can find the best products based on the user needs by using natural language processing, product recommendations, so price comparison, okay, and review summarization, okay, now cart recommendation, order tracking, personalized offers, all these things we can go into create by using this AI. Okay. Okay, what this all these things. Suppose let us think that we'll create an AI application in such a way that I have given one in the search box, I have tested. I want the laptops under 60,000. What the project you can do it here is that it will searches the product catalog, and as well it will compare the specifications, and it will summarize the reviews. It will recommend the top products. Normal e-commerce website, it does not do that. We'll integrate these types of things, I'm saying you. Okay, now, and by using Python, LangChain, LangGraph, LLMs, vector databases, by using FastAPIs and streamline one application is there. By that front-end interface we can develop. Okay, so like this. This is the one major project we are going to discuss. Excellent project. And sir, another thing will be banking project. So the project title is Banking a Relationship Manager Agent. Banking. So these are the things companies are expecting. So now the trend, majority of the trend is with the e-commerce website, banking, e-commerce banking. Everything is in that only. Okay, now these are the trending. If you go everywhere, banking applications playing a vital role. Everywhere e-commerce, like everything we are doing the shopping in online only nowadays. Sir, we create one excellent project, Banking a Relationship Manager Agent. It helps the customers to help with the loans, credit card, investment, account services, and support. Okay, and what are the features we can add it here is that account information assistance, loan eligibility checking, credit card recommendation, EMI calculation, investment assistant, fraud alert assistance, like this deep type of things. Everything we are going to create two, and these two major projects will be discussed end to end in our course academy.